think about Johannes, for example, who was one of your choices. You know.
Yeah. I love someone that's effortlessly, like, just cool. They just look like they haven't tried too hard, but everything fits well.
And that's his thing.
That's what he does. He looks cool, he looks effortless. But everything he wears, even to his t-shirts, are fitted so well to him. And I think that's where he gets it so right.
I sat in the King's Road for an hour and a half to see who the owner of the car was. Because I saw this car on the King's Road and I thought, oh my God, that's the most beautiful car. Whose car is it? And I had to wait an hour and a half for the guy to come back because I wanted to know who it was and what he was wearing, and it was worth the wait.
Who was
because
it?
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was you.
I was thinking, this is so good. This is
So someone that I've decided to go for is a client of Huntsman's called Daly, who is one of life's great men, dresses immaculately, but not in the perfect way we were discussing. I know you guys know him as well, but in a way.
He's one of the most kindest, well-mannered.
The way he carries
chunk of
himself,
kudos.
the pocket watch, and the everything about him is just his shoes are immaculate, but in a fantastic way always. And
He's sort of curated, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's just. I remember the first time he ever walked into Huntsman. I just thought that for me is probably the best dressed man I've ever seen.
I think when it's like, oh, Monty Don, how could I have left off?
Oh, Monty Don, he's got a
No, he's a guy.
Is it Toby?
With those wonderful old corduroys and opened the lovely collarless shirt and 2 dogs.
Yep.
I mean, how the heck I left
love
off.
the collarless shirt.
He is my dream come true.
But he wears jackets and
fabulous.
purple trousers
Oh,
in the
yes.
garden. Proper, like, so sexy, and like the
Monty
dishevelled hair.
Don, 2
Monty
dogs,
Don.
and just the best.
I love the
and he knows
dishevelled
about
hair.
dogs.
Yes.
Everything about Monty Don.
I'd like to mention William Gilchrist.
Yes.
Great.
We all wanted to mention him, but
Speaking of
does it so
speaking
well.
of no socks with shoes, speaking of good hair, speaking of like colour, we have William Gilchrist.
He's proper rock and roll.
He is rock and roll.
Totally rock and roll.
And
He can do no roll.
I remember seeing him for the very first time in like 1997 and in Paris across the catwalk. And I remember like nudging over Joe. Joe, who's that? That's William Gilchrist.
Yeah.
And ever since then I was like, oh, he's so cool.
He is cool.
So cool. And he's cool in his 50s, which I think is really difficult to do as well.
You haven't said anything about Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons was on my list. I think everything he owns and wears has a bit of narrative behind it. He looks like he doesn't care, but he does. And I don't know, he's quite bohemian. I love his kind of, everything he wears is really old. When I met him, I remember he wore this sort of huge big vintage coat, which was actually his mother's. The trousers he wore, he was like, oh, I wore these in character in the mission.
I have someone that probably no one really, Spencer Fung, because he's an artist and an architect, but he wears clothes so beautifully. It's like, because he's an artist, he wears clothes, old clothes, but they're like, it's like a painting. It's like looking at a picture every time you see him. His colour palette is so, like you were saying, but it's very subtle. It's Chinese, and I just think there's something. So that would be someone I find very beautifully dressed. It's a different thing maybe from someone who's well dressed. Do you know that there's a slight difference possibly?
A slightly worn shirt collar.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I do too.
You know that they've used
Yes,
it.
they've used it. It's a bit threadbare.
Yeah, it's slightly threadbare, not too much because sometimes they do, but just slightly, nice and open. Because that's when you're seeing somebody really relaxed.
Yes.
Because they're not. Yeah, it's something that they love and that they're comfortable in and that they've worn very often, and it has a warmth to it.
An old cashmere jumper, like slightly like really worn.
With the whole steel.
That's exactly what I do. I love a clean cut palette. Very clean. Not too bold, not too brash. I just think it adds to that coolness.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Love a bit of grey or navy.
Yeah, exactly. And some really good suit trousers with a really great tee.
Yeah.
And some really stylish shoes, or even just some Converse for me. Then with some great specs. Maybe just a little jacket chaps. I'm going to go completely against the thing here.
Go.
because I like a man in uniform.
Oh,
Don't we all, darling?
Honestly, I think that's really hard to beat. It's you,
It's very hard to live up.
He has to be ready for battle. I mean, he can't just be running on from a...
No,
It's worse
absolutely.
than getting a fire alarm off it, with the toaster or something, because the firemen come and we all go, oh, we're here. They look fabulous, just the fire guys come.
I think Rake should do a whole issue about men in uniform.
Okay, they're
I
fine.
think if you want to do something, it's like people always come and talk to us, say, oh God, bespoke business is going to die and it's all going to made to measure and there's so many great cheap options. And you say, well, never. The fact that made to measure has been such a great, has been such a boom over the last few years is not bad news. It's just like the wine business. Some people will stop with the box at university, for a couple of quid, and other people will then, graduate onto different types of wines, blends, and then some people will want to go to the vineyard.
Yeah.
If you have a good offering all the way through and you're prepared to do trial and error, you can get there.
Yes.
And you look at, see what people do, then you get compliments, or that didn't work, this proportion suits me. I don't think it is. Some people are born with it, and some people
So it works
practice.
both ways.
I think some people practice and they go to the right place to get advice and they read, they'll have a look at Esquire and they'll have a look at GQ and they'll certainly be looking at the Rake and then they'll practice.
One thing we've forgotten is smell.
Yes, thank you.
That
Very important.
for me is very
And
important. If there's a good, well-dressed man with a good smell,
Good scent. Yes.
perfect.
Yeah, it's
We have
what
to be up
really
close.
pulls
Heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven. Or they
Yeah, 'cause
pass
if you
you in
can
the
smell it,
street.
go away.
I love
Yeah.
when you walk
I-
past a man who
I
smells
agree.
wonderful.
I think every woman secretly loves a bad boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every woman's
I have to say, I used to
God, I'm
love the smell of a
screwed,
good
thank God I'm
cigar.
married.
It's so masculine, that cigar
Yeah, it
smell.
is.
Yeah,
It's
It
such
is.
a
lovely
manly
Yeah,
smell.
but only for 10 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
It's funny
You live
because
in the marriage.
No. I'm talking about the bad boy. They have their place. Like the cowboy
Yes,
and the
exactly.
skinny jean and
Only
all
10
that.
minutes and then you want Tom.
And then you went.
Exactly.
Has anybody done jazzy well?
few.
Few.
Yeah.
Ah,
Are we back
That I
to,
witnessed.
not to be boring, are we back to Nick on that?
probably on that one.
You've got a lot of those, for instance, Hamish Bowles.
Yes.
Yes, Hamish Charles does
actually,
really well.
Yeah.
You know,
And some
that's-
beautiful scarves.
Manfredi della Gherardesca.
Yes,
he wears
and
a lot.
Manolo probably
Manolo,
can
but
wear it
Manolo
well.
doesn't do too much pattern.
No, he
Blahnik
doesn't.
doesn't do too much pattern. He does colour.
Hamish
Hamish
is good.
wears
And colour.
Manfredi does it.
Yeah, Hamish.
Limited
yeah,
colour
lavender.
palette, but done very well.
Colour, I think, it works well when you know about texture too.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think the trouble is if you just got like lots of different linens, it's just not really going to
Yeah.
work. So unfortunately, it's a double kind of double whammy.
Yeah.
You've got to combine colours and textures.
I think a lot of the more ordinary gentlemen are gathering more confidence with just having like a roll neck that's in a different colour or a pocket square or a song or something like that. So it's
Slightly more
where pops of
fun.
colour are concerned, and then it's just building on that, and then when they kind of gather a bit more confidence, they can.
And I
you
think
don't
men have
need
been
too much.
so
It's-
stuck with their sort of school uniform.
Yeah.
Do you know, their
absolutely.
suiting, their workwear, that then they kind of sometimes go wrong when they're in mufti, if you know what I mean. You know, certain colours of shoes and certain styles, shapes of shoes. Like,
Shape.
The point
oh, I know.
Anything with a
Winkle
wonderful
pickers
toe.
are
The
I
winkle
know.
pickers.
Like it curls up.
Oh,
It's like creepy napping all day.
Any reptile, any snake or
Okay, so-
alligator or
Worst thing is
crocodile.
a winkle picker and a comedy
Yeah.
sock.
But hold on. But what's
Combination. There's a combination where it kind of comes in and it turns. Ooh.
Yeah.
Goes up like this. I'm just
They look like, sometimes they look like they're wearing snake heads.
Something else for you
barefoot.
girls that like a pointy shoe, as we've just a winkle picker. What is something else that immediately?
I've got one.
Go.
I've got a few.
V-necks.
Really?
Really?
It's only because there was the scene in Fatal Attraction where Michael Douglas goes into the club wearing a green V-neck. And you could see bits of hair.
Oh, no.
He was
Oh, V-necks and hair,
He was
no.
disco dancing.
There we go.
It
That's
has to be
film's
nice
influencing
dressing. It
fashion.
has to be
Yes,
yeah.
something.
You can't have
or have a great
No,
chest.
no.
Oh, it was bad.
Oh, you think the beginning with shorts?
Yes.
Sleeve shirt, short socks, short sleeve shirt.
What about shorts?
No,
We
like
like shorts.
some shorts are terrible.
Yes.
Tailored shorts.
But short sleeve shirts.
Ryan
and short
Gosling does
socks.
short sleeve shirts quite well though.
He's on your
Can't
list.
If
He's
it's a
on my
polo
list.
shirt,
I don't
it's
mind.
fine.
I
I
mean,
quite
there's
like
something
it.
Oh, I
if it's
can't
done
do it.
well.
If it's
I only like
fitted
his sleeve rolled
well,
up.
he does it well.
He's
I've
got
got
great
pictures
arms.
that
rolled up.
he's got great arms.
He's
got
yeah.
good arms.
They
You
accentuate
need
his
good arms, yes.
Yeah, using good
But they're
broad
generally
shoulders.
they're
and
cut
that.
so wide.
I think one can be in danger though of following the rules too much. So suddenly, at Huntsman we'd always have people coming in. Shooting wear is a particular example where someone would come in and they'd think they knew it down to a T and they had the right kit and the right socks and and again that's where I love a little bit of a bit more relaxed and the tweeds a bit more beaten up and you'd find people would come in and ask as they should, and we were so for that, encouraging people to have a dialogue about style and what's right. But when someone sticks to the book because they read everything, and they're sartorial experts, they can tend to be rigid in their outlook and in how they dress, and you can see that when they're wearing the clothes, they kind of feel that they've ticked all the boxes, but it's I think breaking it a little bit and having maybe like a vintage piece thrown in.
If you have something that is, the perfect dark blue suit, let's say flannel with a lovely blue lining, you can then pair it with a lot of other things. If you start with your fancy linings with the skull and crossbones or then it restricts you on how you can wear it.
Yeah.
It's the same with the haberdashery. We don't do, when we worked with Adrian Gill initially when we set up,
Yes.
he was one of our panel of advisors.
That was the real
We
reason.
stripped back anything that wasn't functional.
Yeah.
Because we said if you make the perfect navy blue roll neck sweater and you don't put elbow patches in it, then you'll be able to wear it in 5-6 different ways.
You can
If
add.
you start appliquing and Alcantara trim and
It's too
all of a
memorable.
sudden the garment itself is kind of has its own personality and becomes less able for you to do what you want with it yourself.
I think one of my least favourite words in this industry is luxury. I
Yeah.
cannot abide the word.
I got
I
you.
mean, luxury is just having a house with a clean bath and fresh water. Is to me, that's what luxury. Anything that says luxury, I just go, oh god, it's going to be expensive, or it's too much this, or too much that. It's like that awful thing of luxury brands. It's just so bland. I can't abide it. It's just no, you're in.
But when
you're
they
in
say
for
luxury, they
something
mean very
over the top.
expensive.
Very expensive.
That's all it
And
is.
actually, it's all
expensive.
value
It is
for
a-
money,
Yeah.
and I think this is what we're all obsessed about: is giving value for
And
money.
craft.
And craft.
Craft.
And, yeah, exactly.
And caring and
Exactly.
passion.
Exactly.
Really.
And good service.
And good
That's
service.
luxury.
It is time, actually.
And giving somebody, as you say, just giving someone time, talking to them and listening and understanding what they need, which is how the shop evolved. Is what guys would keep saying, I can't find blah, blah, I can't find so-and-so. So that's how that came about, really.
Cool. Thank you.